All right, so welcome. And before I even start this video, we're going to get to who Melchizedek is and all of that. But at first, I want to send a message out real quick about just understand that in everything that I'm doing and everything that I say, everything is out of love. I'm not really coming here with the debate and trying to argue. I mean, I see a lot of people, they coming with certain things. I mean, I'm hearing people say things like, the eyes are the window to the soul. Why are you wearing sunglasses? My eyes are perfectly fine. Okay, there's nothing wrong with my eyes. I just wear sunglasses when I want to wear sunglasses. It doesn't mean that I'm not speaking the truth to you or I'm hiding something. Okay, what I'm trying to say is just look at the scriptures and understand it. Okay, like stop coming here finding something wrong with every single thing. All right, like I'm just trying to be honest here because it's confusing to me. Instead of like hearing the message, like your pastor can come to you and say whatever he wants to say to you at any point in time, and don't have to prove anything. And he can wear a suit and cologne and drive a nice car, and that's the truth. He's telling the truth, right? But I'm just on YouTube. I just told y'all I'm not a pastor. I'm not an elder. I'm not any of that. I'm just bringing the truth to you of this Bible. Why does it matter if I got on a sweater or a hoodie or sunglasses or a hat? Okay, I ain't coming at y'all like a bishop or anything. I'm coming to y'all like a regular dude, just like you, just like me, regular dude. Just showing y'all what's really there. This is the difference between, this is the problem with this respect of persons type of thing I keep talking about. If a person's wearing a hoodie, then they're a thug. You know, if a person like, you got some people that's teaching that all white people is blue-eyed devils, but like, well, come on. So all white people are evil, right? All black people are lazy. All Arabs going to blow up a plane because they wear a turban. I mean, what's going on here? It's wrong across the board. Just is the person telling the truth or is the person telling a lie? And that's the thing with everything. I mean, this is how serial killers exist, right? Ted Bundy knew how to look the part, and then he killed every woman he ran into. He looked like a good person. He looked like he spoke really eloquent, but his spirit was evil. You see what I'm saying? So this is where I would hope that people can get away from. Stop paying attention to everybody's whichever you think. Listen to the message. Is the person telling the truth? Is the person telling a lie? Okay. And I'm not here, like I said, once again, I don't be coming here to try to be smarter than the next person or any of that. That's not my point here. My point is trying to clear up the lies, trying to get you to understand what's been done to you and what is currently being done to you is evil and it's wrong. Okay? That's all I'm trying to do here. So if I become your enemy because I tell you the truth, then maybe you need to go listen to the liars and continue that. Okay? That's cool with me. I'm not telling you that I'm the end all be all. I'm not the only person that know what I'm teaching you. Okay? I'm not the only person that know this stuff. All right? I'm just trying to share something with you guys without any nothing. Like I'm not charging you guys tithes to come to my YouTube channel. I'm not charging nobody to show you this stuff. I'm challenging you to ask your pastor where they get this stuff. And if you don't go to church and you've never heard anything, then good for you because you start off in the right place because you start off with the truth opposed to having to uncover the lies because sometimes you get so caught up that you start believing things that are not true. And I'm going to get into everything. I've seen people coming in here talking about something, I'm going to get left behind because the rapture is going to leave me behind. Well, sir or ma'am, whichever one you are, you have no understanding of what left behind and taken away is. You have no understanding of the scripture. And you don't even know where you got that from. But I'm going to show you where you got that from. Not in this video. Well, I'm going to show you where you got this rapture from. Okay? It's not in the Bible. Okay? The way that you believe it is not in the Bible. So it's not up for debate. It's the truth. Okay? Now let's get down to this, who is Melchizedek? We hear a lot of people say that Melchizedek is an angel coming down. I've heard people say that Melchizedek is Jesus. I've heard everything about Melchizedek, but we're going to clear up who Melchizedek is, why he is Melchizedek, the whole understanding of everything. Whereas by the time you leave this video, you'll know exactly who he is and everything. But in order for me to show you this, I have to validify a couple things, because according to the Roman Catholic Church, according to a lot of these churches, where you will find this at is in a book that is so-called not canonical. All right. But the Bible itself says that this book is canonical. And so I'm going to show you this. All right. Now, in the book of Joshua, the 10th chapter and the 13th verse says this: And the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and has not to go down about a whole day. Right? This is in the book of Jasher 10 and 13. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you where he's reading this. Okay? So he is reading this from the book of Jasher, the 88th chapter, okay, and the 64th verse. And the book of Jasher 88 and 64 says this: And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Joshua. See, that was the book of Joshua. And the sun stood still in the midst of the heavens, and it stood still 36 moments, and the moon also stood still and hastens not to go down a whole day. This is what the book of Joshua 10 and 13 is saying. It's reciting the book of Jasher 88 and 64. I'm going to show you this again, all right? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to 2 Samuel 1 and 18. And 2 Samuel 1 and 18 says this: Also, he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher, right? So this is in 2 Samuel 1 and 18 in the Bible. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where it's at in the book of Jasher. In the book of Jasher, it's chapter 56, verse 9. And it says, well, I'm going to start from 8. It says, And Jacob said unto Judah, I know, my son, thou art a mighty man for thy brethren. Reign over them, and thy sons shall reign over their sons forever. Only teach thy sons the bow and all the weapons of war, in order that they may fight the battles of their brother, who will rule over his enemies. So the Bible is telling you that Jacob was saying to teach Judah, to teach them how the use of the bow. Is this not written in the book of Jasher? Yes, it is. So if the Bible, if what they're saying in the Bible, they're saying, is this not written in the book of Jasher, while quoting the book of Jasher, why don't we have the book of Jasher? And once again, the Roman Catholic Church. So no, this book is more than canonical. And this is the reason why I always say you can never understand the Bible fully unless you have the books that they have taken out, so you don't get to understand it. It's not me that's doing it. It's them. Okay. So I don't know why everybody keeps coming with, well, you don't understand. See, you got to understand. You're not coming into spirit. I don't know what you're talking about. I know that the people that took this book out came with an evil spirit. I do know that. Because why would you take out information so important? Enoch was so great that he was taken in the where he didn't die. The Most High took him to judge the angels, and there's no record of him. But yet in Jude, they speaking from the book of Enoch. They're quoting everything word for word from the book of Enoch, and we don't have it. I got it, but we don't have it because so-called not canonical. I say the devil is a liar. I say the Roman Catholic Church is a liar. Let the Most High stay still. Let His truth stand still, stand true. Like, I'm not about to. This ain't, once again, it's not up for debate. It's literally the truth. That's what they did when they took the 14 books out. That's what they did. Why is it that Christopher Columbus used the Apocrypha and Second Esdras, which I will show you that, to find what we call America? Why would you use the Bible to find a land and actually find it if it's not true? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, for all the people that think this Bible is mystical, written of mysticism. Well, Christopher Columbus didn't grab a mystic book. He grabbed the Bible and found America using Second Esdras. Well, we can go into that. But I'm staying here right now to let you know that the book of Jasher is real. Now, concerning Melchizedek, let's go into it. Genesis 14:17 says this, and the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Kedorlaomer and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Sheba, which is the king's dale. When Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, which have delivered thine enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all. Now, it says Melchizedek, king of Salem, all right? Which is short for Jerusalem. So Melchizedek, king of Salem. Let's get some understanding on what this scripture is saying. Let's go to Hebrews 6:20, where it says, whether the forerunner is for us entered, even Jesus made an high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. So it says after the order of Melchizedek, which would throw out that he is Jesus, that Melchizedek is Jesus. Like, I don't know where you're getting that from, that Melchizedek is Jesus. It's saying that he came after the order of Melchizedek, right? Now, if you go to Hebrews 7:1, it says, for this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham, returning from the slaughter of the kings, and blessed him, to whom Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being by interpretation king of righteousness. We're going to find out who king of righteousness is. And after that, also king of Salem, which is king of peace, right? King of Salem, which is king of peace, is Melchizedek. Right? So let's find out who King of Righteousness is. And the only way you're going to find this out is going into the book of Jasher. The book of Jasher 16:10 says this, and Bera, king of Sodom, and the rest of his men that were with him went out from the lime pits into which they had fallen to meet Abram and his men. And Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, the same was Shem, went out with his men to meet Abram and his people with bread and wine, and they remained together in the valley of Melech. And Adonizedek blessed Abram, and Abram gave him a tenth from all that he had brought from the spoil of his enemies, for Adonizedek was a priest before God. So here it tells you that Adonizedek, the same, was Shem. Now going back to Hebrews 7:1, it says this, for this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abram, returning from the slaughter of the kings, and blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being by interpretation king of righteousness. King of righteousness is Adonizedek, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace, which is Melchizedek, without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God, abide for priest continually. Now, this is where people get it wrong, because they keep saying like, well, he didn't have a father or a mother, so how could it be a person? Well, this is where you're getting it confused. The Levitical priesthood, you had to come from the Levites to be a priest. You had to come. Your father had to be a priest, Levitically, right? So in order for you to be that priest, you had to come from Levi. That was the priesthood. And the kings was Judah. So Judah's king and the priest is Levi, right? But the first king and priest was Melchizedek, which was Shem, because Terah was Abraham's father, but Terah worked for Nimrod's empire, and he was an idolater. Nimrod wanted Terah to bring his child to him so he can kill him, because he knew that Christ was going to come from the seed of Abraham. Terah gave Abraham to Noah, and then Noah gave Abraham to Shem, and Shem taught Abraham how to follow the Most High for 10 years. That was his priest. That was the first king and priest. So there was no father and mother. That was the original origin of king and priest. That's why it says that Christ would come in the order of Melchizedek, because there was no Levitical priests coming through Levi and then kings coming through Judah. That's where it was split at. But then in Malachi, this is where the Most High stopped the Levitical priesthood. So there's a beginning and end. So when it says without father, without mother, without descent, which means you don't have to come from the Levitical priesthood to be a priest, neither having beginning of days or end of life, because there's a beginning to the Levitical priesthood and then there's an end to the Levitical priesthood. as simple as it gets. It is nothing else to say about it. That is what it is. So Christ comes as king and priest. Okay, Christ comes as king and priest. He doesn't come like, because, for instance, Shem didn't come from the Levites. The Levites came from Shem. See, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Now Jacob has the 12 tribes. Levi and Judah is there. So that's why it's saying that, okay, you're not coming according to the Levitical law. Christ is coming according to the beginning, just like the tithing. Like if you, well, I'll read it. So verse 4 says this. Now consider how great this man was, unto whom even the patriarch Abraham gave the tenth of his spoils. Because see, it wasn't no pay 10% tithes. Abraham did this out of his heart, out of his spirit. He gave a tenth of what he made because of all of the things that Abraham, well, not Abraham, but Shem taught him and showed him, which is Melchizedek. I just showed you that Shem is Melchizedek. Okay, and verily they that are the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priesthood, have a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law, that is, of their brethren, though they come out of the loins of Abraham. So this is saying that Levi, like I just said, Levi comes out of the loins of Abraham. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So it's saying that the Levi who received the office of the priesthood have a commandment to take tithes from the people according to the law, that is, of the brethren, though they come out of the loins of Abraham. But he whose descent is not counted from them received tithes of Abraham and blessed him that had the promises. So it says he whose descent is not counted. That's not counted. He's the first king and priest. Shem was the first king and priest. He didn't have to come through a Levitical priesthood to be the priest and king and priest. So he's without descent. He's not of the Levitical descent. So when they're saying that Christ is going to come through the order of Melchizedek, that's because he was king and priest. Now, mind you, Christ came through Judah. We know that. For instance, we can go down to verse 14 in the same chapter, Hebrews 7 and 14, and it says, "For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. And it is yet far more evident, for that after the similitude of Melchizedek there arises another priest, who is made not after the law of carnal commandment, but after the power of an endless life. For he testifieth, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek." This is so this is what it's saying here. We know that Christ came out of Judah, but we also know that the priesthood is supposed to come through through the Levites. So they looking at it, how can he be king and priest if he's not from, how could he be a priest if he ain't come from Levi? Well, Christ ain't like none of the law that you read, he's not coming to do away with the law, he's coming to fulfill it, like he says in Matthew 5. He's coming to fulfill the law, but he's coming after the order of Melchizedek, king and priest. He doesn't need to come, he don't need to be under the Mosaic law to do it the way that he's doing it. That's all that means. All right. Melchizedek is Shem. All right. But I had to validate the book first so you can understand that the book of Jasher is a real book. Now, anybody that doesn't want to believe that this is a canonical book after this, then you just want to stay where you want to stay, and that's totally fine. But the truth is the truth, and that's how you get to understand who Melchizedek is. Adonizedek is king of righteousness. Melchizedek is king of Salem, and these two are Shem. It tells you in the book of Jasher 16 and 11. So no more saying he's Jesus. No more saying that he's, I don't know. I mean, they coming with everything, but the truth is he was all he was Shem. That's it. Noah had Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? Shem was the one that taught Abraham everything, and that's Melchizedek and Adonizedek. It's that simple. All right. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.